Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy. Oh, that had some meat behind it.
And he steps up to take this shot from the fairway. Players still fighting the strong winds out there today.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. On the way. This one has a chance, and he has it. Beautiful putt. Now at the second hole here at Lighthouse, it's a par 3, 234 yards. Difficult hole, Frank, especially when the wind picks up.
It is, and you can see with that bunker on the right side, that's obviously the bailout area because the problem side is to the left of this green. That's where the cliff starts to run all the way down to the ocean. This is a very difficult par 3, not just because of its length, but because it's exposed to all of Maine's elements.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Frank, I like the mix of holes as we start out here at Lighthouse Point. Tough par 4, then a par 3, and now a scoring opportunity with a par 5 at the third.
Scoring opportunity with a good drive. Very thin fairway here, Rich. This hole is built for accuracy, and players off the tee, they're going to have to try and hit this fairway. Long fairway bunker runs almost the entire length of this hole, and it could act actually as a little helper, stop you going down by the cliff, because anything left, obviously, on that cliff line will go all the way down to the ocean.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. Frank, ball is in the rough here. What are the problems on this next shot?
Well, this is really where the skill level comes in. A good part. This is where the good player separates himself from the rest.
And it is in.
Amazing. Amazing.
Well, here at the par 4 fourth, 411 yards, Frank, this is the kind of hole where you want to pull out the cell phone and maybe take a few pictures because the views are absolutely amazing.
And you also see why this golf course is called the Cliffs, that's for sure. Great vistas. This front nine completely lines the coast, so you're going to need to keep it fairly straight on this golf course. This hole in particular, though, the fairway is actually rather generous, so you do get a little bit of reprieve off the tee, and you really want to hit the fairway because that green is very tiny, Rich.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Did the job right there. Now at the 5th here at Lighthouse Point, it's a par 4. Frank, what are we in store for?
When you stand on this tee, Rich, you don't see any fairway bunkers, but be careful. It can certainly fool you. The goal really with the Cliffs course is to find fairways.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Well, that is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
This will require a good one. This is a 190-yard second shot. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
And so the approach shot finishes up some 25 feet from the hole.
Yeah, not his best, but certainly not his worst.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
You've got to be kidding me. That was right on the edge.
I tell you, he wants a do-over there.
Has this to save par. That's how you maintain momentum. You make those putts for par. Par 3-6 is relatively short, 198 yards, Frank.
But this one, really, you've got to go airborne here. That bunker that protects the left side and front, you've got to carry that and get it to land soft so it doesn't skip through the back of the screen.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Birdie try again here today. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. He takes care of business there.
Solid stroke.
Seventh hole at Lighthouse Point is only 370 yards, Frank. Are you happy if you walk out of here with anything other than birdie?
If you hit the fairway, you definitely should be looking at birdie, but the biggest problem here is to decide, Rich, what club to hit off the tee. You could hit a multitude of clubs here. Further up you go, the narrower this fairway gets. What a great shot.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This is a good-looking shot. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
I tell you, he's setting himself up for a good weekend. A former college #1 makes another birdie. Now another par 3. We're at the 8th. Frank, it's only 165 yards.
It is, but when you look at the green, you can see how narrow it is. Actually, the green is nearly a figure 8, so it's obviously the right number hole. Bunker's sort of short leftish and that little pocket area on the right, so it'll punish anything left or right, even though the hole's just that meager yardage.
Beautiful display of ball striking today. Really in control, and that's another GIR, green in regulation. Par yesterday. Now for birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. We move to the 9th hole and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard and it says this is the number 6 handicap hole. That's pretty tough.
It is, and the reason why is there's trouble both sides of this fairway, and that's normally sand and cliffs, and the designer's really thrown the boat out. Excuse the pun, we are on the coastline here. This whole dog legs to the left, and ideally you just sort of like to go fairway, fairway pitch. That's the prudent way to play the hole, but of course everybody likes to chance the driver and reach the par 5 and 2. Miss, pay the price.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Well, we've seen this before today, in the bunker. Looking to splash this softly onto the green. Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank, he'll be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score. That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
Chance to get it close here. It is a windy day out here, Frank. My hat just blew off. This is going to affect the players' shots, that's for sure.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, trying for another one today. That shot falls for a birdie. Now we go to the 11th hole, and this is a par 5, but it's actually shorter than the par 4 10th. This one comes in at 530 yards, and more evidence of the kind of creativity by the award-winning design team of Patel and Duncan.
Well, that's right. Patel really is known to be the shaper. He's the one that makes all those interesting shapes of the bunkers. For example, here, nipping it in the fairway, making driver almost too much club or very, very risky, plus the front bunker there. Now, this is a great par 5. The reason why, it's reachable, it's tempting, but you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting on it.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. This is a cross-country special. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read, and missed out on that second part. Continues to roll it very well all day long. Back here now at the 12th hole, par 4, 439 yards, Frank, to the center of this green off the black tees.
And if the breeze blows left or right, this hole plays very hard. One of the reasons why, just through the fairways littered with bunkers. So not only do you have to pick the right line, but somehow you've got to get that ball the right distance as that hole bends completely to the left. Rather interesting shaped green here at 12.
This is a stiff test, no doubt. Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. Right at about 125 yards to where the hole is cut. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Count that for a birdie. Well, well, well. What do we have here, partner? The par 5 13th, or is it a par 8? I can't tell.
It looks like a misprint, Rich. 702 yards. And not only that, too, they put the two fairway bunkers in a perfect place. Perfect place if they want to annoy your tee shot. It's going to take 310, 320 yards just to get past that. Then you've got a long, long way to go. And, of course, remember when you're on 10, this is the shared green. So 13 and 10, this is where they meet up again at the end of a long, long walk. Second shot.
Frank, straight uphill with this approach shot, what do you have to factor in terms of club selection and setup over the ball?
Well, you're going to have to take at least an extra club to make up for that added elevation. And also, it's tougher to get onto that front foot.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Had a birdie here yesterday in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Right in the heart. Now at the par 3 14th, over another body of water. Frank, you could make some big numbers on this golf course. I would think if you walk out of here today having shot under par, you have to be really happy.
Certainly is big boy golf playing around the cliffs at Lighthouse Point, Rich. And this is another example here at this beefy par 3, 240 yards. You can see Lake Zimmer protects the front of this green and to the right. That's obviously where they get all their irrigation water from. But there's enough green left of the flag here. That's really what you've got to be looking at, that front left section.
Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. That is a tremendous shot right there. Touch and nerve. He had it all. And he has the bottom of the barrel. The round continues at Lighthouse Point. And Frank, the 15th hole is a par 4, only 387 yards. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. In the cup. What a shot. Can't get much better than that. Final par 3 on the backside. It's the 16th, 241 yards. Time to make a move as we are in the finishing stretch here.
When you give the scorecard a cursory look, you might think 240-something yards is a difficult hole, but this plays quite a bit downhill, so it plays more around the 200-yard mark. A fairly generous green, protected by the bunker.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. Trying to make yet another birdie. Score that a birdie. Now at the 17th, and Frank a chance to make a birdie. Who knows, with a couple of huge pokes, you could make eagle 3. This is a pretty stout hole at a little bit more than 600 yards.
It is, especially if that breeze comes off the water into your face. But normally you're protected here because the hills on the left will block that breeze. Bunkers all the way down the right side, you can see that. But yeah, you're right, 2 big hits, and you might just reach this par 5 and 2. birdie, perhaps even eagle on a good day.
Excellent position and just a huge shot. Second shot coming up here at the par 5.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Looks like he just misread that. Settles in over the putt. Good putt. Frank, as we arrive here at 18, I'm thinking about what we so often hear up here in New England. You can't get there from here, or can you at this par 4 finishing hole?
Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one.
Should be safely on deck.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. And this will be a 5-foot putt here.